Imagine a quiet suburban neighborhood where the only sounds are crickets chirping and dogs barking in the distance every single night. But one night something strange happens. An alien spacecraft lands in a nearby forest, and the creatures aboard have come to observe and collect specimens. One curious creature wanders off and suddenly hears strange lights and sounds, causing it to hide. Meanwhile, a group of men led by one who has a jingling set of keys attached to a belt loop spots the alien and begins chasing it. The creature runs for its life, trying to get back to its spaceship, but it's just too late. The craft takes off without it, leaving the creature stranded and alone. Desperate to escape, the creature makes its way down an embankment and into a suburban housing development where it encounters a brand new world of wonders and dangers. A young boy named Elliot was on a mission to pick up a pizza for his brother and his friends when a strange noise caught his attention as he's about to enter the house. It's coming from the backyard. Elliot is curious and goes to investigate and follows the noise to a gardening shed, when suddenly he throws a baseball inside, but to his surprise, something had thrown it back out. Can you even imagine how scared he must have been? Elliot quickly runs inside to tell everyone, and they all come out to see what's happening. But to their surprise, there's nothing in the shed except for some strange prints that Michael assumes belongs to some kind of coyote from the nearby woods. Later that evening, Elliot is startled by a noise outside in the yard, and curiosity gets the best of him when he decides to investigate. As he steps outside, he discovers a strange creature that frightens him. The creature then quickly disappears into the woods through a nearby gate. Elliot sets out on his bike with a bag of Reese's Pieces, eager to find the creature that he saw in the forest, and as he enters, he spots a man with keys on his belt loop. Elliot immediately senses danger, deciding to leave the forested area. Later that day, he gets into a heated disagreement with his family and feels frustrated because nobody seems to trust his judgment. However, he thinks that his father would understand his point of view, but unfortunately their mother has gone through a tough divorce, which has hurt her deeply. Michael then gets upset and scolds him for being unkind. Elliot's encounter with the strange creature in the forest is unbelievable. Not only was the creature friendly, but it even accepted the candy that Elliot offered. Curiosity would get the best of him, and Elliot managed to lure the creature to his room where he finally saw it in its entirety. The creature was unlike anything he had ever seen, but its gentle demeanor had made him feel safe and comfortable. This experience was truly unforgettable, and one that Elliot will cherish for a lifetime. On the other hand, Elliot decides to take the day off from school, pretending to have a fever, and while at home he introduces himself to the creature and gives a tour of the house. In the evening, he then shares his new friend with Michael and Gertie, who agree to keep the secret safe. As the group gathers around the creature, they quickly conclude it must be of extraterrestrial origin, and eagerly implore the alien to reveal where it comes from. Still, though, it demonstrates extraordinary abilities by levitating spheres in a mesmerizing display that mirrors the movements of the planets in our solar system. The alien's power leaves everyone in awe, but when Gertie presents the creature with a wilted potted plant, its true capabilities are revealed. The alien breathes new life into the plant, rejuvenating and returning it to its healthy state. While everyone is away the next day, Elliot then hides the creature in his closet. However, it manages to get out and sneak into the fridge, where it eats foods and drinks and several beers before watching TV. Unknown to Elliot, the creature has formed a mental connection with him, which results in Elliot's behavior becoming erratic during his science class. Elliot then sets loose several frogs that are meant for a dissection project, causing chaos in the school. Additionally, he feels a sudden surge of emotion, which leads him to kissing a blonde girl in the classroom. After Elliot arrives home, he then discovers that Gertie has helped the alien to learn to communicate, so he gives him the name of E.T. Elliot then shares his plan to build a machine that would allow E.T. to contact his home planet and request a rescue. Later that evening, while searching for tools in the garage, Michael notices that E.T. doesn't look all that well, but Elliot assures him that everything's under control. Unknown to them, a van parked outside is eavesdropping on their conversation. On the night of Halloween, Elliot and Michael hatch a daring plan to dress E.T. in a ghostly sheet and then pass him off as Gertie. And with Gertie already on her way, Elliot and E.T. then set off on a journey to activate a communications machine that he had assembled. As they speed through the forest, the E.T. is strapped onto Elliot's bike, and they suddenly encounter a steep hill that leads to a dangerous cliff. Despite the fear, E.T. uses his powers to make the bike fly over the cliff and land safely on the other side. With their mission accomplished, E.T. and Elliot rest and watch over each other, exhausted but satisfied with the signal that they've sent into space. The following day, Elliot wakes up in the woods only to discover that E.T. is nowhere to be found. He becomes anxious and distressed, returning home to find his mother worried sick, and urges Michael to search for E.T. and find him as soon as possible. After scouring the woods, Michael eventually stumbles upon E.T., lying weak and pale by a storm drain, and after bringing him home, he and the others notice a concerning change in his appearance. E.T. is breathing shallowly, and both Elliot and E.T. seem to be sick and possibly dying. Their mother becomes anxious, demanding that they leave E.T. and exit the house immediately. However, before they can act, a group of individuals in spacesuits arrive, along with government officials who soon seal off the house and set up a medical unit to examine and provide aid to Elliot and E.T. It's clear that the situation is critical, and their prompt action is essential. But soon the man with the keys on his belt loop returns and approaches Elliot with news about the discovery of the machine in the forest. He then confides to Elliot that finding E.T. has been a lifelong dream, and he empathizes with Elliot's childlike wonder about alien beings. He wants to help save E.T., and Elliot weakly explains that E.T. needs to go home, but as they talk, E.T. detaches himself from Elliot and succumbs to his illness. Michael then realizes this as the plants that E.T. had revived begin to wilt and die. Despite the medical staff's best efforts, E.T. passes away, and Elliot spends time with E.T. alone before the man with the keys takes him away. Elliot then goes on to say that since E.T. can no longer feel anything, he must be dead, but then he turns away and tells E.T. that he loves him. He witnesses the flowers first dying and then coming back to life, and returning to the container containing E.T., he discovers him alive, informing him that his people will return to retrieve him. After keeping E.T.'s existence a secret, Elliot and Michael devise a scheme to sneak him into the forest. Michael and Elliot are quick to come up with a plan to help their extraterrestrial friend escape from government agents. They had their friends bring their bikes to a playground at the top of a hill, and they stole the van carrying E.T.'s container and joined them. Once they're all together, they then flee for the forest with agents hot on their heels. As they race away, they encounter a roadblock with armed agents waiting for them. But just when things seem hopeless, E.T. uses his powers to levitate everyone, and they soar off to safety. As the night falls and E.T.'s spaceship touches down, Elliot's mother and Gertie arrive shortly after. Michael and Gertie bid farewell to their alien friend before it's Elliot's turn, and E.T. implores him to come with him, but Elliot knows that he has to stay on Earth. E.T. embraces his friend, illuminating his finger and directing it towards Elliot's head, reassuring him that he'll be right there. Gertie hands the plant to E.T., who boards the enormous ship, and the ship rises, leaving a rainbow behind as everyone gazes into the sky. E.T. stands as a timeless masterpiece that continues to enchant and inspire audiences ever since it was released. Through its heartfelt storytelling, endearing characters, and universal themes, the film reminds us of the beauty and wonder that exists in the world around us. What do you think of E.T.? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.